Hi, this is Tom Rutkowski. I'm president of Innovative Retirement Strategies, and the purpose of this video is to show the problem of using the 4% rule for determining retirement income. Now, the 4% rule is basically just a common rule of thumb that financial advisors use for determining how much income you can take from your retirement savings and expect your income to last the rest of your life. So, the problem with the 4% rule is, where do you determine where the 4% rule is? Do you take income at 4% of the total amount of your portfolio each year for the rest of your life? Because then if you have a decline in the stock market, now you're faced with declining income in retirement. And if you've got specific income needs, that's not going to work for you. So I want to take a look at two different scenarios, taking 4% each year of the total. And if we design our savings around 4%, can we take 4% per year for the rest of our lives and adjust that each year to keep up with inflation? So, a couple of assumptions. Client needs to have $50,000 of after-tax income for retirement. And hopefully you can keep up with my mouse pointer on the screen here. In order to get $50,000 of after-tax income, we need to start with $58,824 at the capital gains tax rate of 15% to end up with $50,000 after tax. So dividing that by 4%, you need to have 1.47 or roughly $1.5 million of retirement savings at the time you retire in order to generate $50,000 of after-tax income. A couple of other assumptions. Ideally, we want this to keep up with inflation to maintain our purchasing power. So we need to have 2% increases each year. And then we're also assuming that there's a 2% investment management fee, that the funds are in a brokerage account and there's a 1% management fee and they're generating 1% in trading costs as well. So 2% in total fees. And of course, the 15% tax bracket. Now I'm looking at basically the most recent 15 years of history. That decade or that 15-year period started off with the dot-com crash back in 2000. So there were 3 consecutive years of market declines before the market started recovering up until the housing market essentially collapsed in 2007 and 8, and the market went down again. So using this time period specifically to show that this particular rule may not be the best solution at all times. And there's quite a bit of literature out there to support that contention that the 4% rule ought to be 2.7 or at least 3. But let's just take a look at 4%, what that means. So here's the, I can select it. Here's the market data and the impact that it has on our retirement savings with year-by-year changes in the S&P 500. In this scenario, we basically got our $1.5 million that we're starting with. We need to take out at 4%, $58,824 to end up with $50,000 of after-tax income. So I'm going to slide this down just a little bit so that you can see the chart. The chart shows the year-by-year changes in the numbers. So if we're taking 4% of $1.5 million essentially, and the market's declining, you can see the problem that we have. In the first 3 years of retirement, our income goes from $50,000 a year down to roughly $26,000. So in just 3 years of retirement, we're now living on half the income that we expected and budgeted for in our retirement planning. If you look at the portfolio value, our $1.5 million is down to $922,000. So clearly, if you've lost that much of your principal from the market changes, you can't take out for $50,000 a year anymore and expect your money to last. So we have the problem of living off of less income than what we had planned on. And you can see that during the rest of the mid-decade, You did recover, your income went up a little bit, but never back to the original amount. And then, of course, the economy collapsed in 2007 and 8, and now we're down to trying to live off of $20,000 a year when we had originally set our goal of having $50,000 a year of retirement income. So we're down nearly 60%. So clearly, this approach doesn't work. If we look at $50,000 a year as a hard number that needs to be adjusted for inflation, now we're looking at this chart. And the problem here is, if you keep your eyes focused on the portfolio value, is we're going to run out of money. If we're taking $50,000 a year out and we're adjusting it by 2% per year for inflation, you can see that the numbers just don't work out. By the end of 2014, we've got at a burn rate of $77,000 a year, we've got basically less than 4 years before the client's going to run out of money. So if we focus on the chart here for just a second, our $1.5 million in the first 3 years turns into $750,000 by 2002. Essentially, you've lost half of your money, and you've only taken $100,000 basically of after-tax income, a little over, $200,000. The retirement savings recovers a little bit during the mid-decade until the economy collapsed in 2007 and 8 again. And now our $1.5 million that we started off in retirement is now down to just over $400,000 at the bottom of the market in 2008. Again, we're only 8 years into retirement, and we burned through almost $1 million of our retirement savings. And we haven't taken near that much in retirement income. So the problem here, again, is this client is going to run out of money in the next 4 years unless the market just happens to rebound. And here we are in 2016 now, and I haven't updated this chart with 2015 data, but we know that the market was flat at best and down 1% or 2% last year. And in the early days of 2016 here, it's actually dropped considerably since then. So the comparison here would be, what if we took our $1.5 million back in 1999 and we simply put it into an annuity that was paying, let's just say 4%, even though most annuities are paying somewhere between 4 or 5, even more, depending on what age you annuitize. The annuity is going to give you lifetime income that you can't outlive. You can put riders on the policy that adjust it for inflation and keep up with this, but basically it takes all of the worry out of the retiree's hands. You don't have to sweat what the market is doing. You don't have to worry about whether you're taking 4% out. If you have a $50,000 a year income requirement, you can budget and know that that annuity is going to give you the income that you need for the rest of your life. So the point of the whole video is just to show that the 4% rule is not a rock solid rule that can get you through retirement and give you income for the rest of your life. An annuity is a much, much safer way to guarantee that you'll have income that will last you the rest of your life in retirement. So again, I'm Tom Rutkowski, President of Innovative Retirement Strategies. If you have any questions, concerns about this video, please feel free to reach out to me. But good luck with your investing. Thank you.